Hello folks, back with another video for you today. Just want to introduce you to something a little different. We're not going to do a Bible study this time. I do want to introduce you to something that I do have a little bit of working knowledge over, and that's trapping. What you're looking at is what's called a connibear trap. There's several different sizes. This particular one is a model 110. It is about 4.5 inches square. And what you see here is a trip wire, trip mechanism, a trigger. What you see here is what's called a dog, which holds it open. And this is a spring, a trip spring. And here is a chain to secure it by. So what we're going to do is pick up on the filming of the video up in the woods, and I'll show you how to set one of these up and explain a little bit to you about how it works and even demonstrate it for you. Okay, now we're in a wooded area next to where I live, and of course you can see here in my hand is the trap itself. To set one of these, and the spring on these is pretty tight, so what you have to do is open it up, hold the spring with your hand, set the trigger, bring the dog over, and hook it. You have to be very careful with it, very easy with it. And then you set it like so. Now, you can't just leave it setting in the open. You can see here on this dog part, there are 3 notches. That's basically a sensitivity of the trigger, and it also will determine how much power that trap has to catch an animal. When you're setting one of these up, you want to build what's called a land set, which means you will use brush, rock, anything that you can, sticks, small logs, anything, and build a tunnel. Put this in it. You will put bait on this trigger right here, on these 2 little fingers sticking down. You can use meat. You can use something sweet like honeycomb. You can use peanut butter. There's a lot of different things you can set depending upon what you want to catch and what you're planning on doing with this trap. Once you get it put in place, and once you get a land set put around it, then you take this ring, you bring it off to the side somewhere, and you'll put a stake through it. It can be a wooden stake, a metal stake, something that will hold it in place. Take your leaves, you can see where I cleaned out around it. Place your leaves back around it, or pine needles, whatever's around the area where you're setting it up, because what you want to do is you want to make this area look just like the area that's around you. Right here you see you got a lot of dead leaves. I don't have a lot of pine needles. If we had some sticks here, we would use something like these that's laying around it to camouflage it and hide it, getting ready to catch our game. Now, what would you use it for? A lot of reasons. Traps are very, very necessary. If you garden, you have rodents, you have raccoons, you have rabbits, you have all those that come into your garden, small game, that eat your garden, eat your greens, eat your green beans, eat things out of it. Set these to catch them. Also, if you're wanting to, in a survival type situation or in a camping type situation, where a lot of people do it along with hunting season, they will use these to catch game like rabbit or squirrel for food or for fur. A lot of these you can buy on a larger scale, like a 220 or a 330 connibear is used to catch raccoon, and their skins are sold. So there's a lot of usefulness for traps, and a lot of usefulness for the knowledge of trapping. How powerful are one of these? Let's watch. this trip. That trout, when sprung, it will break or can break a grown man's finger. It's very important if you set these to mark them, to know where you set them, and to keep small children away from them so that they don't come behind you and they don't play and they don't try to mess with them. It's okay to teach a child trapping. I believe it's necessary, just like it is with safe handling of firearms or archery equipment. I believe it is something very necessary. I believe trapping is very necessary, just like I do with hunting or any other woodsmanship skill. And I do believe this is a woodsmanship skill. I believe it's one that we have lost. It's one that I'm glad that I have enough of a working knowledge of that I can put to a practical use, especially in a WROL situation, in a survival situation, in a situation where it may be necessary for me to protect my garden from predators, wildlife predators, and even supply a certain amount of food and maybe even some bartering items like skins or furs or something for the local markets. Anyway, that's all I've got on this video, and I look forward to making some more, showing you some different traps and some different sets to use. And until next time, keep your knife sharp, your powder dry. God bless you is my prayer.